Hello, everyone. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. Welcome to today's webinar on Work 2.0 Identity AI and the End of Career Script. My name is Stefania Tabi, Career Service Lead at OPIT, and I'm very pleased to be your host for tonight as we explore the future of work and how we can stay relevant as professionals. Together with our two speakers, Matteo Roversi and Rinaldo Festa. I will introduce them to you later on. But before we start, let me just say thank you to all our students who are connected tonight here with us. And if you are here for the first time, also welcome and thank you for being here. And for the sake of those who don't know OPIT, I would like to start by introducing ourselves so that you know where you are. So OPIT, that is Open Institute of Technology, is a fully online university, tier one bachelor that offers programs in digital business, modern computer science, digital business and innovation, which are master's programs. They're responsible artificial intelligence, enterprise cybersecurity, and applied data science and AI. We will come back later on to that. My colleague here with me, Greta, will explain everything about OPIT and our programs with you at the end of this session. But for now, I would just like to share with you our mission as a university, which is to unlock progress and employment on a global scale by providing tier one and affordable education in the field of technology. And if you are here connected tonight, aside from our students who, of course, are already attending our courses, you might be interested in our programs. But without further ado, as I was saying, we will come back to this. I would like to introduce our speakers for tonight, who are Matteo Roversi and Rinaldo Festa. Matteo is the co-founder and chief community officer at Cosmico, and Rinaldo is actually our student. So both for our students who are connected and want to learn more about Rinaldo's experience, and for our guests who are also connected here tonight, this is a chance for you to connect also with someone who had a completely different experience and then pivoted into a tech field. So I will, for now, just zip it and leave the floor for the both of them so that they can inspire us tonight. So Matteo, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So hi everyone, it's a pleasure for me to be here. Let me just briefly introduce myself. I am one of the co-founders of Cosmico. Cosmico is a talent platform that connects organizations with the talent they need to grow and evolve. We were born in 2020, and are you seeing my screen right? Progressing? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so during this year, we've built a community of more than 27,000 independent professionals who are mainly freelancers or owner of small businesses in the fields of technology. So everything that is concerning to software development, hardware, cybersecurity, data, and artificial intelligence, the design and creative field, and also the marketing and growth field. We involve them in several activities, from learning, education, to events for connecting to each other. And thanks to our community, on top of the community, we've built proprietary technology to evaluate the skills and match the skills with the requirements coming directly from the companies we work for and we work with. And we sort of invented, at least in Italy, our model that we call talent as a service. Basically as a value proposition that is related to immediately available talent. So starting with a request coming from our company, we're able in less than 72 hours to propose candidates that are immediately available to start working with those kind of companies. We already work with almost every big consultancy in Italy and in Europe. We work with big enterprises and large creative networks. So today, I'm going to speak to you about work and about how work is changing. That is my primary focus at Cosmico. I'm also the author of our newsletter that is called Work After, that explores the evolution of work. And it's something that a lot of journalists, but also universities ask me always, how the world of work is changing, and what should we do to prepare for the future of work. So there are some new rules coming, and some shifts that are very important, due mostly to technological evolution. So things that before were scarce now are abundant. So the goal of ourselves as professionals is to find what are the scarce resources that we can provide to the world of work, and the resources and the skills we will be paid for in the future. So the first important shift in the world of work is that we are moving from the traditional CV and resume application standard through the idea of that is more important than building a CV. A CV is more important to build a reputation. What does this mean? When you look for a job or you look for change your job, the typical path, the traditional industrial path, is that you need to create and improve your CV, your presentations. But today, creating a perfect CV, perfectly answering a job posting is easier. It's extremely easy. You can do with any LLM you can find. You can customize your CV to exactly match the requirements coming from a job posting. By the way, the same job posting has been written by another LLM, and there is another LLM that evaluated and matched your CV with the job posting. So we are in a situation where CV job postings are extremely abundant. The internet is full with zombies CVs and zombie job postings and machines that try to read one and the other. But who can say if the candidate, if you are a perfect fit for that job? Only the reputation. So instead of investing in producing the perfect document, the CV or the portfolio or whatever, invest in creating a meaningful relationship with people that can prove that you have some skills and they can recommend you for the jobs you want. Second big shift is from execution to agency. What does this mean? We are in the service business, and typically we are being paid for executing jobs or executing stuff. But again, something that was extremely difficult in the past, now it's going to be extremely easier. It's always thanks to technology. So there is another skill that is very important to acquire for the future of work, that is agency. That means the ability to take initiative and to take decisions and to do things without waiting for permissions. There are always been people with great agency, also in the past. And typically, in the past, those were the people who became entrepreneurs or founded their own companies and created big ventures. But the fact is that today, the people with agency have at their own disposal a lot of tools that enables them to create the same amount of impact alone, basically. So without needing the help of other people. So this is why in the past we were thought that intelligence is the most important skill. But if you have intelligence without agency, the risk is that you spend your entire life complaining about a job that you don't want and doesn't fulfill you. But if you have intelligence and agency, you're able to send rockets to Mars. Other thing, we live in a world of specialization, and our industrialized world is a world that is hyper specialized. You are not studying, or you're not simply, we'll say, developers. You are software developers, you are front-end developers, back-end developers. You work and specialize on a specific technology. But again, technology evolves very quickly. And if your specialization is something that is strictly related to, for example, a specific software or a specific programming language, is probable that in the future, in the near future, the hyper specialized work will be done directly by machines. So that means that the scarce and unique human skills and competence will shift from hyper specialization to what I call deep generalism, or the ability to connect different fields of work and give context and judge whether a choice is good or bad, and establish priorities and choices. In the past, in the service economy, we are being paid for the hours we spend in developing our tools, or delivering the projects we are being paid for. But again, what once took hours to be done now can take minutes or seconds. So in the future, probably we will be paid for progression, meaning that the progress we make for ourselves and the companies or the team or the project we work for. You have probably to think at yourself as athletes, exactly athletes, as mind athletes. So athletes live for the performance. They live for the day of the sprint, the race, the match, whatever. But they know that to perform well, they need to do two different things. One, they have to train a lot. And if you look at the time an athlete spend in their activity, the most of their time is spent on training. And second, they need to recover and reassess. Whoever does sport perfectly knows that if you want to perform very well, you need to recover and to rest and reassess before and immediately after the sprint and the progression. So think of yourself as athletes, mean that we we shouldn't think of ourselves as machines that always deliver things and are be paid by the amount of time they spend delivering things. We are being paid in the future. We will be paid for the progression we make, and for doing this, we must invest the most of our time in training, meaning continuous learning, continuous evolving, adapting to the evolution of the context, and also reassessing. So taking our time to review our progress and implement our progress in our life for a new progression. And last, we think of the world of work as a competitive world. So there are a finite amount of jobs, and you are competing against your friends and your colleagues and your co-workers to get a job. But in the future, a lot of jobs are going to change, and a lot of new jobs are going to be created. So it's not a finite market, but it's true that if you want the job of your life, it's easier that you invent it. Especially in this time we are living now. And I use the word create not by accident, because I think that if you look at what the creator economy has been in the past years, and I'm not speaking about influencers and or OnlyFans or whatever, I'm speaking about YouTubers, I'm speaking about scientific creators, I'm speaking about professionals that become creators and invented their own thing and build their own thing in public. So they are creating a completely new markets. They are creating and cultivating their own audience that serves also as a reputation builder. And they are basically reinventing work and bringing work closer to the probably the highest meaning of work, that is finding and choosing a problem to solve and applying all your skills and competence to solve this problem, and by doing so transforming yourself, growing as a professionals, and also create value and impact for others. So it's not a finite market, but it's true that in the future, if you want a job of our life, we're going to invent it. So let me finish by giving you practical advice on how to understand those shifts and how to actually do something to embrace the change and write your own rules for the future of the work you want. So the first thing I want to recommend you is, of course, shifting to AI mode. But what does that mean? It means not simply that you have to embrace and use all the tools at your disposal. I'm pretty sure you are already doing this. So this is just the beginning. So testing, run pilots, map the limits of the tools faster. It's just the beginning. Second, you have to give to the machine and leave to the machine everything that is routine jobs, everything that doesn't bring value to your work. So pass routine loops to the bot and reclaim the hours you need to do meaningful work. Third level is about orchestration. It's not just about automation, but building systems where and mapping processes and decide across an entire process what as a mean to be kept as a human activity, or what has to be delivered to the machine. And the most important step is let AI reshape the way you think at work, meaning doing and asking yourself the right question. That is not, is my job going to be automated in the future? But in the future, when my job will be automated, what are the parts of my jobs that will still remain relevant as a human activity? What are the parts of my job that machines cannot replicate? What are the parts of my jobs that are scarce and relevant, and the parts of my jobs for what I will be paid for in the future? So this is the most important question we have to start asking ourselves for the next years to come. Second, probably the core of the advice I'm going to give to you today is building your work stack. What is work stack? In the past, we thought about the CV, for example, that is probably the Bible of the beginning of your work stack, or your social presence or profiles or whatever, your portfolio or GitHub profile. It's something more complex, and my framework for the perfect work stacks is what I call the 3P: problem, presence, and people. So first, you have to start thinking at yourself as if you were a company. A company doesn't define itself with a job title. Okay, a company defines itself and the value it provides to the customers with a problem statement and the solution the company can bring to the problem. So the first thing you have to do is to define the problem you want to solve in the world. And whenever I say this kind of sentence, I always see people saying, but what does it mean? How can I find the problem? Where can I find the problem? I have to do a market research. I have to find a niche. I have to, no, forget it. If you want to create a fulfilling work for your life, you must find a problem that you care about. And the best way to find a problem that you care about is thinking yourself and your problems. You are the niche. You have problems, you have situations, you have visions, you have something that you don't like. something that keeps awake you in the night, or wake ups you in the morning, not with fear, but with curiosity and the desire to really do something for solving that kind of problem. So think of yourself as you are the niche, and find the problems you want to see solved for yourself first. Because if you solve for yourself, this is going to have a profound impact also on others. You become a sort of magnet for other people that probably see the same problem or slightly similar problems in their lives, and see yourself as a benchmark and an example for doing meaningful work. Second, build a presence. So you need to stay accessible online and offline. The tools we have at our disposal with the internet are very powerful. So you have a lot of social media and social channels that can help you grow your audience. So you can use your problem to build an audience, and to look at social media through the lens of your problem. This will help you to connect with other people that are interested to the same problem as you. So you build your audience. You can then create and her commitment with, for example, with more curated presence, like, for example, curating a newsletters. It's something that I really recommend for everyone. I'm writing 2 newsletters since almost 2.5 years, and it's probably the best choice I made in the past, because it gives me the possibility to really understand and explore the problem I want to solve. And while I do so, I also attract other people that transformed during these years in partnership, in work, colleagues, clients. So it's something that I really strongly recommend for everyone. And then probably the most important part is the third P, people. So I suggest you to create and to keep a 3-3-3 circle. So look at the world through the lens of your problem, and find 3 inspirations. So 3 guru or 3 like real influencers that are working on to solve the same problem you care about. Then close down through 3 mentors, so 3 reachable people that have more experience of you, but always in the same fields or the same problem, and you can ask advice to. And then 3 peers, other 3 people to work together and to share and to connect. Because of course, when you do this kind of job together, it's easier than doing this alone. And the fun fact is that when you grow a little bit, and you can become mentor to others, so you can add another 3, for example, 3 fellows, 3 people that are your fellows, and you follow your research and an amplifier of your work. I'm sure that you're pretty familiar with this idea of writing daily, ship weekly, share always. So the idea of work today is something that we have to build in public. Because why? Because of the first ship we were speaking about. Because reputation today is more important than the CV or what you write on your portfolio or your biography. Write daily means that if you spend 15 minutes, 30 minutes per day to work on your problem, to dedicate yourself to your meaningful problems, you have 30 ideas every month. And those ideas can become every week something that is more likely a finished asset. So a mini project or a post or a video for your YouTube channel, a post for your newsletter, or templates. And of course, you have to share everything. So if you show your result and process, you're able to attract other people and build a reputation. And last, we speak a lot about purpose. That is a word that always comes close and connected to the idea of work. I once heard Professor Scott Galloway speaking about passion at work, and he said something like, "Whoever says to you, gives you this kind of advice, follow your passion, is already rich." So the passion is a rich people problem. It's true that purpose, it's not something predefined, something you can define and write on a paper, and then you have, okay, you have your mission, you have your goal, you have a purpose, and this remains the same for the rest of your life. Purpose is something that evolves with you and evolves with your situation. So it's like a pyramid, or it's something that steps from one stage to the other. And the first stage, of course, is survival. The enemy is ending, the goal is ending bill panic. You have to pay your bill, you have to pay your taxes for your house, for your family, and whatever. So it's completely useless speaking about passion if you are still not solving the surviving problem. So when you are in the survival mode, you have to find your clients. You have to sell them. You have to find people, call them for the jacket, and try to selling them yourself, your experience, your competence, your skills. Second, the second step in evolution is status. So you want to be recognized for the ability to solve your problem. So you have to prove your work. You have to create case histories, and you have to, because the goal here is, I don't need to call my clients will come to them if I'm able to create and build a reputation or a status around a problem I can solve. Third, it's not finished like this. Most people stop here, okay? Stop at status. Other people go to the next step. That is what I call creativity. So it means escaping comfort. Every time, if I've reached the status, I do always the same thing, following the same pattern, and that can bring to comfort. And I want to, at some time of my life, escape comfort. So it means shipping something with my signature, like we were mentioning before, a newsletter, a tool, a project, or a course, or whatever, something that brings my signature. And then probably the most important, the last stage of purpose is contribution. When you can teach peers, you can create a community and scale the impact of your work. So this always is like a loop, a circle. Every time you change direction, maybe you have to start back to the previous status. So what I suggest to you is every 6 months, every year, take this screenshot and ask yourself, at what stage of progress am I today? Am I ready to go to the next step? Or what should I do to go to the next step? So to make this real, the final quote I steal to strategists that I really like, that is called Jasmine Bina. She was saying in a post on LinkedIn a few weeks ago, there are only two things we are really meant to do in this work: make something new and care for one another. What I found in researching the meaning of work and speaking to really hundreds, 1,000 probably, of people that are doing the same journey, looking for the purpose and the final goal of work, I found always these two topics, these two themes recurring. Work is, for me, a creative act. It means that finding a problem and apply all our energy to solve the problem with solutions that are new, that brings us to create something that is new. And while we are doing this, the other goal of work is to be useful to others, because work is probably the most important tool we have in our life to be useful to others, to care for one another. And the truth is that when you there are great chances that if you do great work, if you do something new with care and love, probably this is going to impact a lot of people and be useful to other people. So this is my final suggestion for you. Find your problem and try to solve the problem with new solutions. And by doing so, you will see that this is going to attract more people and to be impactful and useful for others. So thank you very much. I'm leaving the floor to my colleague, I guess, Rinaldo.
Thank you, Matteo. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I know Matteo since 4 years now, almost at the beginning of Cosmico, since I'm one of the very first employees. And his vision give me always inspiration, self-confidence, and motivation about my unconventional path. I'm the CTO of Cosmico, and I don't have a technical background, not yet at least. Eventually, I am enrolled on the Modern Computer Science Bachelor here at OPIT. And today, I want to shatter a myth. An unconventional path isn't a detour, it's just a destination to something extraordinary. I want to link with what just Matteo said, that life rarely go according to plan. You have to adapt, you have to improvise, and turn unexpected challenges into advantages. Our careers work the same. This taught me that every experience I had, whether it's a job that didn't work out at the end, at a degree that seems irrelevant maybe, or a passion project that failed, is still building something unique as a personal skill set. While maybe others are following the same predictable path, we are developing something that no one maybe can replicate. And it's our distinctive perspective. And just think about it. In a world where AI can replicate technical skills, what make us irreplaceable? It's not just what you know, it's how you think, how you connect dots other can see, how you approach problems from angles no one else is yet considering. Our conventional background, it's not a bug, using a technical word. It's just, for me, a valuable feature. Here's that's something that it's here's what nobody maybe tells you. It's about career transition. Career transition doesn't erase your past, but multiply your value. For example, when I moved from military service to co-founding a startup, I didn't abandon my military skills. I applied my military discipline to startup chaos. For example, when I transitioned to tech leadership, like now, I brought both military strategy and entrepreneurial agility to startup innovation. Each transition didn't just add a new skill, but it created an exponential combination. It's synergy. Military plus entrepreneurship plus technology plus the book I read last week plus the tutorial I saw on YouTube plus the webinar I'm watching right now, it's equal the person I am today. This is, I think, is just a superpower. It's the ability to synthesize experience that others see as a separate world, a predictable path. Every job you've had, every subject you have studied, every challenge you overcome, they are all building blocks in a unique value proposition. While others compete on single dimension, we are creating something multidimensional that can be commoditized. So probably, as Matteo already said, the job we will have in 10 years probably doesn't exist today. We don't even know. The skills that will matter most are the ones we can predict right now. So how do we prepare for an unpredictable future? We embrace the unpredictable present. So stop trying to fit into someone else's career template, just looking at the CVs of the other. Just build your reputation, just be yourself, just continue to build blocks over blocks to your life. First of all, always be curious, fall in love with learning, not just credentials. I'm pursuing right now computer science degree while being a CTO because I know I don't know, and I need to always be upgraded to follow the new technology trends and to be self-confident about the impact I can generate inside Cosmico. Second, say yes to the opportunities that scares you. The best career moves feels always risky because they push you beyond your comfort zone, and that's where exponential growth happens. Third, build bridges between your experience. Don't compartmentalize your life. The most breakthrough innovation happen when you connect ideas from different domains. Your diverse background is your creative advantage. Fourth, define success on your terms. Maybe your path to impact doesn't involve climbing traditional corporate ladders. Maybe it's just creating something entirely new. You don't know. So I want to leave you with a challenge. Stop apologizing with unconventional path or I made a mistake, but start celebrating every single move, every single decision you made in your life. The part-time job that has nothing to do with your major degree, it's teaching you skills your classmates or your future colleague or other person maybe don't have. That internship that is a completely different field, it's giving you a different perspective that you can use actually in your main goal in the future. So you are not behind, you are not off track, you are building something unique. So in a world that is increasingly automating, that is increasingly standardizing everything, our human experience, our creativity, our ability to adapt and synthesize, these are our competitive advantages. The future doesn't need more people following the same path. It needs people brave enough to create new ones. And our career is not a ladder to climb, it's a canvas to paint. And we are the artists who can create our own masterpiece. So just start today. The world needs people that can build something. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Rinaldo, and thank you, Matteo, for the very insightful contributions that you have given us tonight. I was really inspired by some things that you shared. In particular, you mentioned something about building our reputation, Matteo. Because most of the time we are so much obsessed with perfecting our CV, our resumes, forgetting that actually before even employers will get to our resume, they may have to see us. So where are we building our presence? Typically, you have shared some examples with us, and one of the best advice that I received while I was working is, Stefania, are you sure that the people who are, for example, above you see your work? Are you able to make yourself and your projects and the successes, the achievements that you have within the company noticed by the people who, by the end of the day, will be decision makers, even in your growth within the company? Most of the time, we do not give visibility to what we are doing, both if we are searching for a new job or we even want to grow within our company or our industry. So that was really food for thought for me, what you were sharing. And I'm also very glad for what you share with us, Rinaldo, because most of the time when we are shifting careers, we are so much focused on our relevant skills rather than our transferable skills, because we usually think, okay, I want to step into this position. What are the relevant skills that I directly have in common with the skills without thinking about what actually we have built all these years. And most of the time, we are even solid professionals that have built a foundation to be able to build new things on that foundation. So that was really powerful. And when you ended with continue learning, that was really the cherry on the top of the cake for me, because I think that in a world that keeps evolving, and we do not really today, there are some tools that we are using, tomorrow we don't know. So the most important skill that we can develop, and I was sharing that in a tip yesterday on LinkedIn, is learning how to learn, actually, because at the end of the day, what we know today might change tomorrow, and it might become obsolete already. So the gap for to learn new skills is shortening. So we need always to adapt. Adaptability, I think that is becoming one of the skills that we need to develop every day. So thank you so much. And I know for sure that our participant have also got different insights. So if you have questions, feel free to ask our two speakers. We have brought them today here for you, just so that you ask them all the questions, personal or personal, that can be valuable for other participants who are connected here with us. So feel free to use the chat to raise your hand, and we will be very glad to answer to your questions. And while you were talking, Matteo, I saw already that there was a question in the chat. So I'm reading it for you so that you can answer directly. From Aime, you mentioned building your presence and sharing work consistently. As someone pivoting into tech without a portfolio, what's the most impactful way to start building that presence, especially if I am not yet confident in my skills? So over to you, Matteo.
Yes, I was already writing my answer, but I'm going to read it. So
Thank you.
it's true that it's related to what you were mentioning before. So we have to learn to learn. So first, I would say everyone should give it. We should give ourselves the permission to be a beginner. I think there is nothing more important than keeping a beginner mindset across our entire professional life. Rinaldo, I think he was speaking exactly about this. So transitioning from a completely different professional path to another, it's something that I too did several times. You are able to do this only if you keep this idea of I'm a beginner. No matter your position in the career ladder or your company, if you keep this beginner mindset, you will have always the curiosity to bring on the table new questions and to evolve yourselves. But if I have to share the secret recipe, I would say first, as I were mentioning before, you have to find the problem you want to solve. It's not something related to content. Some people define themselves like the passion of the work. I am passionate about software development. I am passionate about I don't know, React or language, a programming language, or a specific. You are not passionate about things. Things changes. Content changes. You should find the problem that obsesses you. Once you find out the problem, for me, for example, is I'm obsessed with the idea of what I need to understand for the future in order to be stay relevant in the future. This is my obsession. I'm actively, every day, constantly looking for new tools, new resources to bring on the table new questions that help me make choices today to be relevant in the future. So find the problem you want to solve. Second, find other people in the world online that are solving the same problem as you. And I'm sure there are a lot, but this is not a problem. This is something they always stops ourselves saying, but really, do the world need another presence, voice, speaking about the problem that already thousands of people are speaking about in the world? Yes. Yes, because every vision, every personal life, every context or problem reframing is unique. So, but by the way, if you want to learn from the others. So find other people online. Second, map everything they do. They post their processes they use, try understanding what make them successful and attractive to other people. Once you have a clear vision of what make them successful and attractive, bring your own unique point of view on the problem. It could be something related to, for example, your personal background, your life background. Imagine a programmer that solves a problem with a background of the military, like Rinaldo, no? Like it's something that could really reframe the problem in a completely different way with a unique point of view it's unique of Rinaldo. Choose a social media platform, and I would say that the easiest are the ones that are based on writing. So, for example, LinkedIn works pretty well, or X globally. Post consistently every day, no matter at the beginning of the audience, the reaction, post consistently, but measure the impact of each one of your posts or the resonance, how much the post resonate with you and how much the post resonate with the other people following you, and transform the best performing post into something that is more complex artifacts. For example, I do the same with newsletters. So the best performing post on LinkedIn become newsletters. And for me, the best platform is Substack today. So there are a lot of developers in Italy too that have built thousand a newsletter with 10,000, tens of thousands of subscribers, speaking about technical things with their own unique point of view. If you do this, there's good chances that you can build your reputation, but I cannot guarantee you will be the next top creator or you will make money from this. But what I can guarantee to you is that the path and the journey of personal transformation you are going to do and to embrace, if you do every day 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, things like this one, it's like unbearable. The transformation and the growth path, it's unbearable. I think there is something that it's like training. I mean, you can go to the trainer for teaching you how you have to train. So you go to school, you go to the university to learn how do you have to learn, but then you have to learn every day by yourself. You have to do your homework. You have to train. You have to do your work. This is the best way to do your homework in this, I think, this new crazy world of work.
I think that if I and Matteo continue talking about this topic, when we connected and we were aligning for this event, we were talking and talking because I'm really passionate about this these topics. So when you were speaking, I'm like very captivated because of course this is what I do. I'm into career service, so I'm very much passionate. While you were talking, I remembered something you said. You say that work is something you build and not something you get. And I think that this sometimes brings frustration because most of the people are waiting to get. So while we are in that phase and we are waiting to get, we feel frustrated because things are not coming true for us instead of actually building something. And especially in tech, where employers actually want to see also what are more interested in what you have done what you can do rather than the list of the things that you have on your resume. This really is an important insight that you have shared. And I've also see here another question for you or for you, Matteo, Rinaldo, whoever of you wants to reply, from James. In an ever-changing world due to AI, where soft skills are, in my opinion, becoming more important than hard skills, what is the most fundamental soft skill to learn? So, what is the most fundamental soft skills that you think professionals should develop? This is both for you, Matteo, Rinaldo, whoever of you want to answer first.
For me, it's very easy. I mean, I do always this work for mapping or whatever. So I would say if I have to say three, there would be agency. We already spoke about this. So the ability of taking initiative and taking actions without waiting for something to happen on someone to give us instruction. Adaptability, of course, that is related to the idea of curiosity, asking a lot of questions, continuous learning. And the third would be the ability of orchestrate AI. That means mapping, organizing, prioritizing all the processes and decide and judge what part of a work process should be delegated to machines and what should be kept to human. But on this topic, I really strongly recommend a paper that was published a couple of weeks ago from Stanford University about the impact of AI on skills. And there is a very useful chart where they mapped the 27 skills taken from a popular database that is called the ONET database. And on the left, you have the skills ordered by wage. So the amount of money they are paid for. So for example, you have the first place, the analytical ability, that is one typical of the high-level consultants in a McKinsey or similar company. And then on the right, you have the same skill, but this time ordered by human agency required. And you see that skills that are top paid today are shifting down because they are the ones that where AI will have probably the most impact in the next years, or will be required this kind of impact. While other skills that, for example, today are paid not so well, for example, taking care of others, every profession that is related with caring, and now it is on a lower level in the wage or the list, is going up in the human agency required. So again, it's a matter of relevance and finding a balancing point between relevance and scarcity, where we find what are the skills that in the future would be relevant because there will be demand for them, and there will be a lot of scarcity. For example, in a increasingly aging population with demographic crisis, taking care of others as humans is something that will be really scarce in the future. So it's possible that it would be something to invest in. Hinton, the father of deep learning, in an interview a few weeks ago, said something like, if I have to say what to study to become for, it would be the plumber. So everything that is still manual, more artisanal. It was, of course, a provocation, but just I would say agency, adaptability, and AI orchestration. But have a look at the paper because it's really interesting.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I don't know if Rinaldo would like to add something, but Rinaldo, I actually have a question for you because tonight we have
Sure.
many students who are connected and we have people who are also interested in pivoting into tech as well. So any advice that you have for them, both students because I do coaching sessions. And there are many of our students who ask this question. I want to pivot into tech. And my experience is actually has nothing to do with tech. So you are actually giving hope to many of our students who are connected here tonight. So if there's any advice that you would like to share, feel free to do so.
Yeah, just a few because we already talked a lot about it during our speech, but adding something more is, or repeating myself, is just being fearless of doing the pivoting, because if it's something that you really want, you have to push your boundaries and go beyond your comfort zone. And as I said before, it's in this time that you will see magic happens, that you will start to learn faster and faster. And as Matteo said, you have to become obsessed about it. You have to read about technical parts, technical skills. You have to watch a tutorial. You have to write about it, YouTube videos, read newsletters, and so on. And I think there's nothing that the human mind cannot be. It's just some limit that we put to ourselves, and the stereotypes of the traditional path, the traditional way of working, the traditional way of living. But if I want to drink this way, there's no one that can avoid this. So just go, trust yourself, have self-confidence, because you can do it. I was able to do it, so everyone can can be able to do it.
So thank you for that. We are wrapping up because we actually have only 2 minutes. So what I want to do is to really thank you, Matteo and Rinaldo. I would love to continue this conversation with you, but we have to respect our time. So I'll contact you directly for following up on many things. Um, oh, yeah. Thank you for prompting me on this because I've seen that there's one last question in the chat. Hi, I have a question to Rinaldo. I'm interested, so Rinaldo, I will block you again. I'm interested in joining OPIT, but I'm currently working. So I would like to know what strategies would you recommend for balancing a full-time job with ongoing education or upskilling in tech? Yeah, that's right, because you are a CTO, you are doing
Exactly.
your bachelor's program. That
I
might not be easy.
Lena,
Yeah.
is easy, not sleeping. Yeah.
Exactly. I can answer honestly, or I have to.
Answer honestly.
Okay, okay. It's a freaking mess. But as I said, if you are obsessed about it, if you have no, you are fearless about doing it, it's something you can manage. I have a full-time job. I have a 1 years old toddler that is here, that always come here. I have lots of business to do, as everyone. It's something I want to do. You just have to find the time, the organization. It's something that it's an attitude that I have, but it's something that everyone can relate at and can use it. It's just like project management. You have to set your goal and define each task, manage your time, and just go forward. You know that it's just a period of your life, and then you always have to continue study, but it's a period of full commitment. So I can give you an absolute advice that it can be considered the truth, but I can give you my perspective. For example, I woke up at 6, I start studying at 9, I start my work. During my work, sometimes I have some spare times where I can read a book of a technical part, watch a tutorial that will help me on doing better my job. It's not something that is
Yeah.
just for myself. And then I will continue my life. I try to balance everything, private life, study, and work. It's not easy. This is the truth, but if you want, you can do it.
Yeah, I think it's also about the test to learn and to know more, the curiosity also every time to learn new things that typically drives in these situations. So thank you for sharing your experience as well with us, Rinaldo. Well, now let me check. There are no more questions, but if you want, you can also connect with Matteo and Rinaldo on LinkedIn, of course. Thank you so much, Matteo and Rinaldo, because this was really insightful. I myself, I'm really glad I always organize these events because I learn a lot. So thank you for sharing your experiences with me as well. And while we are wrapping really to the end of our events, I would just love to share my screen with you. If you can see it, there are some contacts, our contacts that you can connect with. So if you have any questions about our programs, about the school in general, if you want to connect with our students who hear their experience, feel free to reach us at any time. And we are so much glad to share information with you about our programs. As I mentioned, we have bachelor programs, master's programs remotely, and Rinaldo has shared his experience with you. We have not only people, young professionals, but we also have people who are very experienced and they are attending our master's program and our bachelor's program. So thank you all for being here tonight with us, both to our students and to our guests. And I hope that we can reconnect in our next career events. Have a nice morning as we began, afternoon or evening, depending on wherever you're connected from, because I know that many people who are connected here are not directly in the Central European time. So thank you all and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.